Yeah, it is. It's totally working. And now we go here to begin in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to There Will Be Dungeons. Yeah, that's right. We're playing D&D today, and we're glad to have you all here with us, either at home listening, maybe in the chat room live right now, or maybe you're watching this on YouTube later. Don't know? It doesn't really matter. We're just happy to have you here, so thanks for being here. And sit on down, grab a phoenixpearltea.com/TWBDT and drink with us. Won't you? Will you? Can you? Won't you? All right, let's get right to it. Before we get to the game today, we're going to throw it to Kristen, who will take the mic and explain what happened last time on There Will Be Dungeons.
Last time on There Will Be Dungeons, Nash was coerced into consuming the creepy confectionery. Reluctantly released, he flew furiously into a field and forced out the phantasmal fare. Dinner, however, was delicious. They toasted to their triumph, then proceeded to plan. A bike in a boathouse would briskly bear them to the tiefling town where they would alert Eminil about an angry archfey. They would next clamber to the cottage. Finally, they would ferry to the foremost fey, secure the summoning circle, and track trustworthy contractors to derive a device from the dragon heart. Now Nash nodded as Varel set up a security system for First Watch. Hope and Stanley meandered to the motorcycle, crashing it as they conceptualized controls. They reminisced and reconciled. Stanley cautioned about the concept of conquest at any cost. Hope revealed the removal of the relic would result in her irreversible retirement. They then mused on Stanley's misgivings about his dad still bringing him to bear, despite the destined disaster. Was it all for nothing? Maybe. But maybe this Stanley was the one to welcome the ultimate win. The next day, they knotted Nash to the bike's back as Varel fixed himself to the front. They tore through the trees toward the tieflings. They elicited Eminil's ear. After a temporary tension, she led them to the lake, necessitating nudity with a call to converse with the mysterious matron Malhaya. Now rejoin our heroes as they dare to bear all! Will they welcome the water? What will be revealed in the mysteries from Malhaya? And can they manage to focus and wrap up their roster in a record 2 episodes? Stay tuned for today's adventure within the sacred halls and green walls of Elhandar.
All right, Bo, back in your court.
Stanley Billings, you're walking towards the lake at the center of the harbor, a settlement of the surviving tieflings of Tiet Kala, subjects of Queen Hope, your companion. Follows behind, walking out of the cottage, as does Varel and Nash. Before you, Eminil has disrobed on her way out from her home to the lake. And she has slowly walked into the water, stopping up to her breast, and then turns around and stands there waiting for you to follow. Stanley, if you will, describe the process of undress as you move from Eminil's house in the harbor to the lake.
Well, there's nothing formal or ritualistic about it. It's more functional. It's just, take a step, there goes a boot. Take a step, there goes a boot. There goes a cloak. It's like the trail leading through your house when you've had a bad day. Just clothes from shore up to the shore. Nothing really pretentious or ritualistic about it. Just pure function. And then into the water.
Okay. Now, at this time, I ask if Nash, Varel, or Hope will join Stanley in following Eminil.
Into the pool, like naked?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, what do you do?
I'm totally going in there.
Are you going in naked?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. Describe the process of undress as you move from Eminil's house in the harbor to the lake.
I will float to the lake. And as I float, I will gradually unravel. I'll remove my cloak, first of all, that I've been wearing. And then I'm going to peel off my considerable amount of sort of long bandage material and just sort of leave it trailing behind me. And that won't take long at all. It'll just sort of fall away. And I will continue to float buck naked toward where she is going.
Do you stay above the water, or you descend into the water?
Are they already in the water? Are we there yet?
They're in the water up to their chest, standing on the ground.
I will move over to where Stanley is, wink at him with a smile, and then lower myself slowly into the water like fried chicken.
Okay. That happens.
Sweet.
Varel, Hope.
Hope will see what's going on, and she'll walk to the edge of the water. Are there any bushes?
There's weeds all along the side of the lake. It's not tended at all, but there's no bushes, so to speak.
Okay, she'll kind of like crouch down to kind of cover up in the weeds and awkwardly take off her shoes, probably fall over once or twice to get naked and then creep into the water.
Okay, so you do so with modesty and awkwardness, not...
More awkwardness than modesty, but yes.
Okay, perfect. Varel, your companions have disrobed and walked into the water. Are you... Does this affect your lizard brain in any way?
As an already naked lizard, I debate the clothes around me. Think about lighting them on fire for a hot moment. But then proceed in.
All right, the four of you, one by one, make your way into the lake in the middle of this settlement called the Harbor, inside of a boreal forest on the space station El Handar, soiled with fertilized with soil from the Feywild. Eminil turns to face everyone and reaches a hand out to the left and reaches a hand out to the right and says, "Everyone, we are about to go on a journey to speak with Malhaya. You must be very careful with your actions as we commune with the fish bird. Do you understand?"
Yes.
And she takes her hands and they move to her neck, and you notice that there's a very small locket around her neck. You never saw it before because it was under her garments. This locket is round in shape and gold, has a few gems inside. Very small, very tiny. She opens up the locket, and Stanley, you catch a quick glimpse of a photo of not a photo, but a drawing, like a painting. It's a very small lithograph of a male tiefling that you've never seen before. And inside this locket, there appears to be these brown and orange flakes. And she opens up the locket and dumps them into her red and purple hand. She closes the locket. And then she turns to you, Stanley, and she says, and she takes one of the flakes from her hands and motions to give it to you. Sorry, I'm just trying to emote with my hand. There's so much stuff here. She motions to give it to you.
All right, I'll reach out.
Okay. And then she very deliberately takes another flake from her hand, Nash, and reaches out to give you the flake.
I will also receive it.
Yeah. Okay. She takes the next flake, Hope, and she turns to you and she hands it to you.
Hope will take it.
And then she takes one more and gives it to Varel.
I will hold it in front of me with pinched fingers.
Okay, it's a very small flake, and if you hold it too hard, you'll crunch it. It looks very brittle. And she keeps the remaining flakes in her hands, and she takes one, she says, "Now, in order to ensure that we survive our journey, please place the flake upon your tongue, then close your mouth, and hold it there till it melts and dissolves, then swallow."
Where are we going?
She demonstrates by putting it on her tongue.
So we do like one of those, remember those breath freshener things that were like, they disappeared and they were really hot and you put them in your mouth? It's like one of those.
Yeah, sure.
One of the
Got me
Listerine.
through many middle school dates, those things. So.
However, the difference is it just tastes like fish flakes.
Ugh.
Oh, great.
Better than bird flakes. Better than bird flakes. That's what I say.
I'm serious. Where are we going?
We are to speak with the fish god, or fish bird. And I don't quite know where we're going. Or quite what will happen. Just what I have been told.
Are these drugs?
These are a kind of holy food. They will ease our transition into what comes next. And she reaches out her hand to the left and right, one to Stanley, one to Hope. Form a circle. Do you all take hands?
Yeah.
Reach out.
All right. She reaches out and she says, now, bring the circle to the bottom of the lake. And she begins stepping backwards, holding your hands and pulling you down. And then she disappears beneath the water. Do you follow or do you break off?
Follow.
Follow.
Okay, you walk. Nash, are you into this?
Yeah.
I know you got water issues sometimes. It's not ghost
I'm
water.
I'm totally down with it. Totally down.
Okay.
Got water issues.
Do I have water issues? I don't
When
know.
it's
if I
ghost
do.
water, yes.
All right.
Yeah. Varel, anything for you? We're about to move into the water here. I know you have legendary breathing, so I'm just taking the opportunity to ask.
Yeah. I hold my breath for the 10 minutes I can do it at a time, and
I think it's
expect-
15.
yeah. Yeah,
Only because I
15.
watched that clip about the elevator a lot, and you make me laugh. I hold my lizard friend folk for 15 minutes. All right. You move together with Eminil into the water, and as you move into the water, your ears fill with water, and your vision fills with water, so that it makes listening and hearing very difficult. They're very muted, as we understand in the water. Sound doesn't travel very well through water, and your eyes become blurry. But is everyone holding their breath?
If we're going in,
I
yeah.
think instinctually, yes.
Okay, so as you move under the water with everyone holding your breath, you hear this muffled sound coming from Eminil saying,
You don't have to hold your breath. Allow the water to enter you and be one with you. I'm here if you get scared.
All right.
you sort of hear that mumble through the water.
I'll go full Ed Harris and just it just starts sucking in my abyss water and until I'm
You
used
start
to
making those faces and doing those actions, and Hope, Varel, and Stanley, I think, look at you alarmedly. But after about 30 seconds of doing this, you realize you're kind of just doing it, and you're not really choking at all. And you've just your lungs and your mouth are full of water, but somehow you're breathing it, and it's not affecting you whatsoever.
Okay.
Unless you want to keep acting that way.
No. I'll just get used to it.
Okay.
Sort of.
I mean, if you want to get them back for the bonbons, you can totally. It's a good opportunity right now.
No. I don't want to ruin the sacred nature of this, so I'll get used to
Aww.
it. Yeah.
Look at Nash.
Well,
All right. So, yeah. So the rest of you see that Nash and Eminil appear to have their mouth open, and Eminil was speaking, and they appear relaxed in a way that you aren't.
Take a breath.
Okay. You open your mouth and let the water pour in, and it fills your lungs. I just realized I have an emergency. I don't know where my dice went to.
Oh.
I'm sure you
there
don't
they
need them.
I have like 0 dice in my vicinity, and I swear I saw them, and it just freaked me out. Okay, cool. We're back. So you take a lung full of air, or water, rather. You take a lung full of water, breathe it in, and you're shocked to find that it feels good, that it gives you life, and that it doesn't do what water normally does, which is choke and suffocate you. You feel like you're able to just consume it into your lungs and then expel it, and you just seem okay. And you can't your mind can't explain it.
Stanley would give a look to Varel and Hope and just sort of a nod that, yeah, this is okay, surprisingly.
Hope will take a breath.
All right, the same occurs to you, Hope, as you open up your mouth and take a lungful of water. The water doesn't suffocate you or prevent you from existing, or you get nothing. It feels good, like breathing air. It's a strange sensation because you can breathe the air, but sound still doesn't travel very well through it, and you still move slowly through the water. But you can breathe it. Varel, are you still holding your breath?
I'll be last to take it in, but I realize it might be important to the ritual, and I proceed.
Okay. Maybe you just open up a little bit and let a little in to see how it works, and there's something very unusual about the fact that you can be breathing water, because as soon as you let a little bit in, it feels good. So you take a draw instinctively, and you draw in a bunch of water, and it fills your lungs, and it feels like it's giving you life the same way the desert air would give you life after a deep breath after a kill.
Who am I sitting next to? Who are my handhold companions?
Yeah, that's a good question. Who is? So I have Stanley and Hope on either side of Eminil, so that would make you and Nash on the opposite side of the circle.
Yeah.
I think Nash said he floated right next to me, so I'd imagine it's probably Eminil, me, Nash, Varel, Hope.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'd like to
yeah.
blow some water at Nash.
What? All right.
Just a windy, wet blow.
Okay. Old windy
Okay.
wet blow.
That works.
Took it to prom.
Varel does so. Is there any intended effect, or is it just
No, just have fun with the environment that's going on.
Very good. Okay, you do that. Then Eminel looks to all of you, and you know it's harder to see her features in the water. It's a very murky lake, but as your eyes adjust to the darker area lower towards the bottom of the lake, and she's continuing to guide you along to the very lowest point of the lake, which is not a very big lake, so you walk maybe 5 minutes, and then she stops everyone, and you look around and you see like there's a lot of seaweeds. The ground on the bottom of the lake is very soft, and you sink in a little bit, and you hear squishy things. You see schools of fish sort of dart around and get away from you. She stops there, and then she takes in her hand, she had the remaining flakes, and she takes her fist, and she opens up her hand and lets the flakes go. And the flakes have this weird reactive effect to the water. They were brown and orange, but as she lets them go, they shine every prismatic color available, and they're almost blinding. Just for a quick second, they spark up, and then they settle into this shimmering kind of glitter in the circle all around you, and you can't make out the words she's saying, but you can hear her speaking in the water.
Malhaya.
And she repeats this over and over 3 times. And as your hands are held, there's this intensity that happens with your hands, and everyone, it feels like you fall backwards in the water. And as you do so, you black out for a quick second.
Oh, jeez.
And then you blink, and then you're back in water. Except this time the water's turbulent. When you go to stand on the ground again, you look down, you see there's no ground. It's just endless void, water void down below. And you look up and you see miles and miles away, surface, maybe, sunlight. It's brighter up top, and it's very dark below, and there's no bottom that you can see. And you look all around and you see endless clear, not clear blue, like a murky middle blue. I don't know what the middle blue is, like a navy blue, maybe, like a darker blue, but it still seems clear. It's a strange place, and you're all sort of floating. Does anyone have any swimming issues, or you're all able to tread water?
I
That's
Don't
a
know.
good
I've never
point.
thought about this.
I don't think.
I know Varel's a swimmer.
don't have anything that is hindering me, as far as I know.
We
just
practiced
mean
a little
character-wise.
bit way back early in the day. I think Stanley might be at this point okay, but he's still not a lot of experience because there's not a lot of water where we're from.
Okay, so you appear to be struggling just a little bit. You're trying your best, but you appear to be sliding down. Eminil grabs you with her hand, and she easily sort of brings you back up because you are all buoyant. And she kicks up and brings you back up and holds you and steadies you in the group. I imagine everyone else is treading water just fine then. And as you reorient yourself to whatever it is you're seeing, you in the distance you hear like a, and then all these fish come flying all around you, swimming all around you. Like Stanley, at one point you look around, there's like hundreds of fish, and the fish come up and they swirl around, and then they go on their way, and then everyone is just taken over by all of these fish. like millions of fish just came out of the blue and are flying around you and swimming around you, and some of them are like on your skin or something, just trying to figure out what it is. They don't seem to find you hostile at all. Fish usually dart away. These fish fly up and surround you and hang around you.
Wow. It's like those things in the mall where you put your feet in there.
Yeah, exactly. Through the murky water, Eminel's voice sounds clearer here, and she says, "Everyone, tread water and stay still. Do not leave. Do not depart or split or go off anywhere, especially anything that looks interesting." And she treads water, and she sort of looks around with a worried look on her face.
And we don't perceive any other beings here other than the fish that are nibbling at us. Right?
Yeah, there's fish that are nibbling at all of you. Hang on, let me pick up something here. All right, Eminil, then, seeing that no one's saying, you're all looking at her, sort of expecting, like, what's next? She regains her composure, swallows. I'm just looking for something. Okay, there we go. Swallows and says, "Malhaya, great shepherd of the tides, fishbird to all. We have come from a forlorn world, bereft of your nourishing waters. We come to you seeking your aid in our most desperate hour. Please." Her voice screams out, but carries out over the water, and the fish get disturbed by the loud sounds. They sort of look around and they dart off into a direction, and within seconds, all the fish are gone.
Oh boy.
And she looks to both of you and she says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
For what? I'm sorry. Says Nash.
It is not. It is more beautiful than I expected. All of this water here. This could be on Earth. And she looks around and she appears desperate. Where is he, Stanley? Lelu, where is he? And she looks around kind of confused, and nothing appears to be happening.
You've never performed this before?
No. I was once married. He passed when the vampires ruled Tiet Kalahi. Our faith was forbidden, and my husband would not give up his faith. Before he passed, he gave me these fish flakes and told me when I needed them to call on Malhaya for help. I've never done this before. I didn't expect to be in a place like this. Just that I had to be in water. Leilu, you did not tell me what is happening. All around you is endless void of water. She looks at you, Stanley, and then she looks to Hope and she says, I'm sorry. She takes a deep breath and she says, we will wait. We will have faith. Malhaya will come for us. Leilu would not lie to me. And then she sort of treads water, holding you up, and she's sort of resolved to be patient and stoic, and she waits.
Leilu, that is your late husband?
She nods affirmatively, but not opening her mouth.
Did the surface of the water disappear? Are we in a watery dimension?
There's nothing but water in every single direction. There's
And
no
no-
other kind of thing.
No more fish anymore.
The fish have gone. You look out and you see dark navy. As you look up, you see that the blues turn to lighter hues, and as you look down, you see black.
You were told nothing more of the ritual, simply about the flakes and the water.
He told me on his deathbed. He gave this to me. He was the reverend of the Fishbird Church. I loved Leilu, but I, at the time, did not observe the same beliefs as him. And when he passed, since that was his life, to help other tieflings, it's the only thing I have left of him. And now we need his help. He did not explain whatever happened here. She starting to look positively scared now, but just keeping it under wraps. But you can kind of tell that she's severely agitated and was not expecting this.
Do we await the fishbird?
Yes. We await the fishbird.
What is the fishbird's name?
Malhaya.
Malhaya! I am Vorel Rasfim Kirik. I have entered your dimension in hopes of curing a curse. You may not know me, but you will know my exploits. And I will list the list, and I'll skip it for the sake of everyone listening.
Oh.
But it does end with Keeper of Stories, Butcher of the Barosaurus, and Deceiver of the Cheater, Talis.
Oh, I love that we got an
All right.
update. That's
Do
great.
you want to do like a performance roll, please, for that?
With pleasure.
Or a religion roll,
Nat
if you
20!
so choose.
That's
Oh.
20.
Sure you didn't want to make it religion?
No, I'm pretty good. We both are 0, so let's take it.
Nat 20! All right, sweet. Do you have any bonuses on that, or is it 20?
No, 0 zeros.
Yeah, cool. All right, so you announce yourself to the open water, and as everyone watches Vorel announce himself, two really large yellow eyes emerge behind him in the blue. They're kind of cat-like. You know, they have like more of a sliver. They're pretty wide apart on either side of Vorel. Vorel, you haven't seen this yet.
That sounds bad.
Is that what we're supposed to do? I would imagine you've brought many people to this realm. Are we supposed to announce ourselves, our intent, our purpose?
Who are you saying this to?
Eminel.
Eminel looks at the eyes and is gone. As if she doesn't hear you. She's like apprehensive and caught up in fight or flight completely. You feel her body tighten up and shake, and she's completely despondent.
Am I able to follow everyone's eyes to know something's behind me?
No, Stanley just said something kind of casual.
Well, just watching
Although
it.
you can see Eminil look at something, and you see Eminil look at something and freeze up, and you know you're a lizard folk guy. You can kind of read blood pressure maybe in the in the neck or something of these weaker beings. I don't know. You get the sense the vibe is definitely very fearful.
All right, I would like to maintain holding hands, but I will flip upside down by paddling my feet.
Oh my god, that's awesome. All right. You flip upside down, maintaining the handholds, and you flip upside down. And you see some very large yellow eyes looking at your circle in the deep blue.
So you have arrived. Do you seek to challenge me?
You hear a loud voice echo through the water, going. You feel it. It's so loud, it doesn't deafen you because it's muted in the water, but you feel the water vibrate all around you. It's a weird sensation that you've never felt before. And after that large sound, the eyes sort of close and open, and they start to grow bigger. It's approaching.
Well, let's maybe not anger any water deities while we're here.
Maybe that's who we're waiting for. This Eminel.
That's Eminel.
Oh, I mean the other one. The thing she keeps saying. I forgot the name. What's she called the
You
god?
can hear her starting to whisper, Malhaya, protect us. Malhaya,
Oh, Malhaya. Yeah, Malhaya, Stanley.
Malhaya,
That's what I
protect
meant.
us.
Are
Malhaya,
we to take
what
it
up,
that's not Malhaya then?
And as you say, are we to take it that's not Malhaya? The eyes get close enough that scale begins to be seen. Miles and miles of scale begin to emerge, and 50,000 teeth also cut through the water and expose themselves as it begins to open. Large fins also appear as a giant face the size of a planet moves forward before you. And then you begin to see tentacles emerge from behind this creature. And Eminel whispers, she grabs you tight. She goes, "It's a kraken! Run! Swim, bro! Run!" And she moves around. She starts swimming in the opposite direction of the kraken. Like, "Run, you fools!" And she starts, "Swim, you fools!" And she's booking it now. "Stanley!" she yells from behind you. And she's booking it.
I would follow after, but I would be calling, "How do we get out of here?"
She's taken off. She's full fight or flight. Fight or flight.
Better flight.
Did anyone do anything?
I mean, I'm not going to hang around. I'm going to swim after her.
Okay, Nash begins swimming away.
Yeah, I'm not a very good swimmer, so I would try to stop her, but I can't imagine I'd even get close.
Okay, so do you start going down and make a sound to get her to come help you?
I mean, no, I'm probably managing-ish, but the ability to catch up to her, to stop her or anything like that is not
So
gonna happen.
you're starting to swim, is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hope, Varel?
Hope would stick with Varel because there's no way she's going to outpace this thing. I mean, it would move a tiny amount and just overtake them. So she's going to stick by Varel.
Okay, and Varel?
very much a similar conclusion. This is the test of whatever god we've summoned here. So I would be just toothy grinning. I mean, this is a glorious creature. I would be in awe of its presence and delighted at the chance to battle it.
Okay.
As Stanley's swimming, he's just calling back to her, trying to grab her, but again, probably failing. Probably not making a lot of progress.
She does stop and turn when she does finally hear. If she does hear, she stops and turns, and she reaches out a hand to help you, but her eyes are on this massive creature, a kraken, full of teeth, full of fins, full of tentacles that that come from the behind him and that are moving forward in this giant circle. You know, hundreds of them ready to just pluck you out of existence. It looks like everything looks threatening, but there's no friendly god here. It's a kraken. It's a giant beast, and it has even one of those little barbed beards full of like barnacles or whatever and tentacles and all that stuff. Giant teeth. Is almost a whole world inside its mouth as you see it sort of open its mouth, and very quickly its eyes dart to another direction, and it turns its head and swims off. But it leaves such a wake in the water that everyone's like just like getting moved around in the water as the kraken and disappears in the deep blue as if it was never there. But maybe it's still there. You don't know. And a few moments later, behind it, you hear and then this fish comes darting, and this fish is, maybe the size of a whale, but it moves like a bullet, and it has these flappy little wings that goes around, and it spins around in a big circle around you and makes a whirlpool, and then out of the whirlpool it like makes this structure of ground you can stand upon, a disc, but it's solid water, but not ice. It's magic. And there's sort of this force, like almost like there's gravity here that isn't water gravity, like gravity affected by water, but like air gravity. And everyone sort of descends down to the disc and stands still in water. And then the bird goes up and it's laughing childlike as it flies around the water, and then it brings its big face up to you and puts its chin on the disc and goes, "Hello!"
Oh my lord. I think it's the fish bird.
Malhaya, we presume.
Malhaya. A name! Why do you summon me? That bubbles the water.
Oh my god.
I like the first god better.
Yeah. Hold on, bring back the kraken.
Pharrell tries to hide his disappointment.
He's waiting.
Is he blowing that noise out of his mouth?
Yeah, I mean his gills and his mouth.
Okay.
Mostly his mouth. Like he's got a fish mouth, but somehow speaks.
Does he have wings like a bird?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He has wings like a bird. He has a long fish body with like fish scale on it, but whale sized, beautiful rainbow. I should describe these things, right? Beautiful rainbow fins on the side fins and the tail fin, a very long mane across the top. He's very like cylinder. He isn't sort of a flat fish. He's like a cylinder fish. And he's got like massive but beautiful speckled gills. He's actually very beautiful. He's all kinds of colors as they reflect off whatever sunlight might be coming from the sky. But his fish face is like almost pointed where it almost becomes like a bird, and then it sort of narrows down, and he has actually like a little pointer. And so when he talks, his mouth is like, it's like his pointer's his nose and his mouth is underneath, but it's very fish-like. And he's got big fish eyes.
This thing's a real freak.
Yeah.
It flaps its tail fin like a dog.
Is Eminel on the platform with everybody? She's
She's there, yes. She's holding on to you.
Is this platform underwater still, or are we above water right now?
You're in water.
Still in water. Okay.
You're below water. There's no land or air anywhere that you can see.
So I would simply try and, assist her in getting back to focus and business here, and just, I think this is who you came to see.
Stanley, we came to ask Malhaya about what we should do with Talis and how we should proceed in saving Earth, yes?
Yes.
Then these are your questions. And as much of an honor as it is for me to be here, we're here for you.
Okay. Hi, Malhaya.
Hi!
My name is Stanley Billings. These are my friends. Nash, Varel, Hope, Eminil.
Friends! Yay! Nice to meet you, Stanley.
How much does Stanley hate this character?
100%. All of the percentage. Made me regret so many decisions I've made in this campaign.
Amazing.
We've come here because we are from a planet absent of water, absent of much life.
Oh, no. That sounds terrible.
It is. We're seeking your wisdom in perhaps finding a way to restore the planet.
Water. Nourishing water. I give nourishing waters. You want nourishing waters? Take nourishing waters. We have plenty. Plenty!
Look back at Eminel. I don't think this is working.
She grabs your arm and she says, "You are speaking to a god. Do not judge it based on the measurements of mortals. They are their personas identified. They may make you uncomfortable. But remember, you are speaking to a god."
They make me think they don't know what they're doing.
I hear all in my realm. You have a problem with faith, I see.
Yeah, can't imagine where I got that from.
Well, so angry. You need nourishing waters. Drink of the water. Drink. You wish for my help, mortal,
Yes.
but you have little faith. You are angry. The world has hurt you, and now you wish to hurt it, like the Kraken you met. But the Kraken, for as fearful and as mean as he is the weakest of them all. Do you understand?
Not in the slightest.
You come to me seeking nourishing waters. You have ingested the fish flakes. You're here for aid, yes? If not so, then what do you seek from the god of all water?
I seek aid from my world. I seek aid stopping a archfey who is trying to destroy us, and I seek aid in restoring myself and my companion here, who have been diminished by this archfey.
Archfays and foes. Small problems for small people. Sounds like you're missing water, and you would like to have it. Yes?
Yes. How do we take it to our planet in a quantity that will be useful?
You must find. Wait. The waters. They're telling me something. Yes, you're from Earth. The world called Earth. Many tieflings of Earth celebrate me. I love them. You need the key.
And what is the key?
You need the key to bring water to your world. But your world is too hot. The dragons have seen to that. We don't like it there. Cool it down some. And renew your faith in the world of water. And the bountiful, nourishing gift that makes all mortals live and breathe will be delivered to your world. And he sort of flops about. Gotta put in the work first before you can have the water.
And how would we go about doing that?
Oh, you want all the answers from me, do you?
I would like an answer from you. We can start there.
An answer. So simple. Cool the world down. It is too hot for me and my kind. Too much fire. Like the one you're with right there. Ooh, a fish with legs.
Nash will laugh at Varel.
We have fish with legs. But for some reason, you have the flame about you, and you come to my realm with the flames about. Were you a god, I would take it as insult. But you're immortal, and I forgive you, child. Rid yourself and your world of the flames. Then pray to Malhaya, that's me, for my aid. And aid shall come. Faith shall be rewarded. And we will make you whole again, and your planet, and your friends, and everyone you love, and everyone I love, all the fish. And then it jumps up off the disc, and he begins swimming around. Whee!
Stanley will look at Eminel. How do we return home?
Eminel ignores you and steps forward towards Malhaya and says, Great fish bird, may I pet your scales? And the fish looks and goes, Of course you can! Come, scratch my scales. And Eminel not leans down, but steps forward. Remember, you guys are all naked, right?
Oh, yeah.
She kneels down, and she takes like her hand, and the scale is almost the size of her, body. Like it's super huge, and she just begins sort of scratching underneath it. And the fish bird goes, This appears to be enjoying it, and she turns to you, Stanley, and says, Are you done?
And then some.
She turns to.
We have not received our cure.
I don't think we're gonna receive a damn thing.
No. No, I accept this quest to cool the planet. I accept the extinguishing of flames. But to do this, Fishbird, I require my power back that Talis has stolen.
Fishbird looks around. I see. You have been harmed by an evil little fairy. A bad fairy.
Yes.
And what have you done for the world of water that you expect such gifts from it? Do you not know that is not how we work here?
How about giving my life, Malhaya? I sacrificed my life for the world in your name, under your guidance.
You disappear. You're gone.
Wait, he's not here. Stanley's gone, or
He's
the
gone.
little dude's gone?
Stanley's
Oh,
gone.
Shit.
Wait, what did you do with
Such an
Stanley?
angry elf. Woof, says the fishbird.
Where did you send him? Where is he?
Meh, the fishbird says.
I don't care if you are a god. Tell us where you took our friend.
Nash disappears. If anyone would like to speak of matters of import, I am here for you, the faithful. But if you're going to be unpleasant, then we're done. And I have much work to do in the waters.
Can you read my mind?
I know your soul.
Very good. And I think hard, picturing the room at the Golden Sands, the certain device of magical know-how that I don't understand called an AC unit that I could use to cure the world of such heat.
Ooh, man.
And know this! And I think hard that whenever I level up, I could change my flames into an ice aura or lightning aura, and I'd be willing to do so to cool the world.
Come closer, Vorel.
I walk closer.
And Imina looks up to you, smiling from ear to ear. Finally, sort of ecstatic, but at meeting the fishbird, and she reaches out a hand and she says, Be gentle with him. He is not like you. He's not a warrior. He is a nourisher. Love him.
I place a wide hand on the forehead of the fishbird.
Mm. Yes. Yes. A great warrior. You think that you can beat the Kraken? Oh, I should like to see that.
I would love to try.
Not today. This is my realm. I say what goes and what doesn't go here. If your friends promise to behave and treat me with some respect, I may restore them from their permanent banishment.
I have need of them. They are foolish but useful. Likely overcome by their nakedness at the moment.
I will give them one chance. And if not, I will return them from whence they came. Emanil here's soul and faith is very pure, and I would hate to hurt one with such love for me. And then Nash and Stanley reappear. Boop. And Stanley, you can continue your rant now if you want.
Are we aware of anything that happened, or is it just we were gone and
Nope.
now we're suddenly back?
You were aware that you're gone, but you have no idea how much time. It was just black. It was like being dead for just a second.
We didn't even see each other in that blackness, right?
No, you were just in the void. You
And-
don't know what it was, but everyone's in a different place. You do know you have an intellectual knowledge that you were blinked out,
Okay.
but you're just back.
So Stanley appears. He would just, and that's what happened.
Eminil turns to you and says, "You lost your temper with the fish bird. Malhaya is a sensitive soul. He's given you one last chance, Stanley. And Vorel here has a fondness for him, I think."
Is that true, Varel?
I will flash my scales, prismatic colors matching the fish bird.
Woo! And his fins flap. Can you hear that? He's very excited.
My apologies for my outburst earlier.
It isn't sincere. It's sincere. I knew we could be friends, Stanley Billings, or shall I say, Valironath. Does everyone need a break? I think I could use a break.
All right.
So
You can do
why
it
don't
now.
we pause it there? We're at an exact halfway point, and yeah,
All right.
let me think about what we'll ask of this crazy character.
We'll take a few
We'll
minutes
come
to
back.
go think about what we've done. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Okay, and you
Yeah.
just drop them all off at the same place, Brains Avenue.
I'm all in on this. All right.
All right.
I'm
ready to go.
Okay,
Time to
cool.
make some
Let me just
zombie money.
kick
Are
it
you
into
ready?
gear here.
Zombie.
All right, we're back, everybody, for the latter half of tonight's adventure. Back to you, Bo.
All right. He looks to you guys, and then Eminil stops his scratching for a moment, and then kneels to him and speaks softly to where she appears to be finding an ear hole or something like that. Malhaya, we are very tired and very drained from all the hardship that has happened to us. And I have been your faithful servant from the moment I saw the truth and my Lilu died.
Lilu.
My friends here have not yet seen your truth, but struggle and wish to know. We need help, and we have no others. And I call upon you in the name of my husband, the name of Lilu. He promised that you would aid us. Stanley and Vorel are grievously injured. Can you cure them? Please. And the fishbird goes. And then he looks at Vorel and he says, "This one is most pleasing to me, in spite of his misguidedness. But you have explained yourself very well, my child. I will converse with you in a form less agitating. Yes, I wish to try something." And then he, within a second, his scales sort of pull in and he shrinks in size and forms a fish scale version of Vorel, blue and speckled. "Yes, this is pleasing." And he stands your height. And then he looks to you, Vorel, and he looks at his own chest, and he looks at your chest, and he goes, I cannot make this. How do you make an eye?" He inquires of you, Vorel.
It is a gift.
And the fish version of yourself, Malhaya, leans down and looks at your chest. "May I touch your eye?"
Do I sense any reservation from Gurgil?
Grosjean seems... He seems angry. There's a sense pounding through your blood that you want to kill this thing. But there's also a sense that even Grosjean acknowledges that the likelihood for success is quite low. Infinitesimally low. So he's sort of stuck in this loop of being wise, but also angry and wanting to kill this thing.
Naturally. I will let the touch happen.
So the version of yourself that is made of fish scale, so very, very light, scales, touches your eye. Ooh! I see what he sees. Oh. And the fishbird moves his hand away. It's you. You persist, Grosjean. You are feared among the gods. Vorel, you carry with you a very dangerous being. Why did you bring him to me? Are you here to kill me too?
Please.
He goes where I go. There was no slight intended by his presence.
The one he slew has already set creation on the course of destruction. He's the very unmaker of everything that you see. But perhaps your destiny is to repair these things. The gods don't know the outcome of this. Come. And he reaches out a hand before you, and it's a Vorel hand, so a Vorel hand sticks out up in front of you. And there's this reverberation of blue, and you feel like this blue light like pulling from you, like strands, loop, 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 and then these stringy blue strands of ethereal energy sort of pull out into his hand, and then he takes them, and he goes, all gone. And you're now cured of the debuffs that Talis placed upon you. And now, and he turns to Eminil and says, will your companion be angry with me if I do this too? Eminil shakes her head no. And Malhaya Vorel looks at you, Stanley, with a look of invitation upon his face to step towards him.
I'll step forward.
He reaches out his hand and engages in the same action. And the strands move from you, and he clutches them in his hand and goes, with great flourish and presentation. There, my children. You are healed of what ails you.
Thank you.
Perhaps now you will be at peace. As for your other request, how to bring the waters to your world, well, you must cure it of the blight that the dragons placed upon it. That rock in the void will forever be bereft of water. in the state that it's in. Even the gods have no purchase on this matter. For the old lords of creation are claiming this world as theirs. And in this, the gods cannot help you. I'm sorry, Emmanuel.
You said that we needed to cool the planet down. We've already been tasked with finding the hottest place on the planet.
I
There are
know.
means by which we could do that.
The waters tell me the last of a kind, dragon kind, has delivered to you the means through which to do this. A device of impossible geometry.
Oh, yes.
A device of the gods. How can
And
I
that will
help
do
you?
it.
And how can I help you to create this device?
Yes.
Ah. You seek answers from me. Answers I shall give to reward Emmanuel for being so stalwart. Her faith keeps us alive, you know, as the faith of others. You will need to find an engineer of works of such nature. There is one I know of, but his location isn't visible to me. It is a place somewhere where the gods can't see, in the prime material plane. But the waters tell me it was last seen in the vicinity of a world called Faerun. You may wish to speak with the leader of the Elhendari people, Stanley. You have just met them and know little of them. But you are Elven, and you are the stewards of all life. It is your role to understand creation and live in harmony with it. As the representatives of your royal court in the prime material, go forth and swim to your royal court. Hear from them what must be done. Your answers are out there, and you are close. You must have faith that the stream will take you to the safe waters you seek. Now I grow weary, children. I must swim again. Before I depart, let me leave you with some wisdom. The kingdoms of men and women, of mortals, of all shapes and sizes, have one great failing. They reach beyond their own nature. And this is the great tragedy of mortals. No matter how high you climb, without nourishing water, you are dust. Remember this. And then Fish Scale Varel begins to walk towards the side of the disc, and then he jumps into the water, transforms back into a large fish, and goes, "Whee!" and so swims around you and goes, "Farewell! Farewell!" And he swims off into the water, and then everyone just falls backwards and turns black. Their eyes turn to black. And then you open your eyes again, and everyone is lying back down at the bottom of the lake in the harbor. You recognize all the seaweeds and the soft ground, and you can see the water ceiling is maybe 10, 15 feet above you, not very high. And you're all lying at the bottom of the lake in the harbor.
All right, Stanley will start swimming up and swimming for the shore.
Okay. You're the first to emerge from the lake, and you come out fully nude, ding dong dangling around and all that business. And the tieflings of the harbor are all standing and watching the lake and watch you. None of them approach or say anything, but they're all standing and watching.
Stanley will come out of the water, kind of press the digitate off, quick air dry, start throwing on clothes again.
Okay, perfect.
Doesn't pay any mind to the tieflings.
Everyone else?
I'm going to rise out of the water the same way I dipped in. Arms outreached, super serious face, and say, "We're back!" And then I'm going to go float over to where my clothes are and start wrapping myself up again.
All right, perfect. Varel, Hope.
I will pop up from the water saying, "Yes!" Pat my bicep, give a couple of little lizard peck squeezes, and triumphantly walk my way onto the sandy shore.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, you get out of the water, and yep, you look positively proud. Hope.
Hope will come out of the water and then freeze as she realizes everyone is there watching.
As you emerge from the water, the tieflings all avert their gaze.
Oh, okay. She'll quickly run over to the weeds and get her clothes out and start dressing.
Yeah, no one sees you. Okay, and you start dressing. Everyone getting dressed. Nash, did you get out of the water?
Oh, yeah. I rose out.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I forgot you rose out. Sorry. We're doing this one at a time for like everything. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but everything's like, what do you do? Okay, so you all emerge from the water and begin robing, and if that's your thing. And Stanley, you do notice that Eminil hasn't emerged from the water.
Uh-oh.
I'll point my finger in that direction and send a message using the message spell, and just say, "Eminil, are you coming?"
After a moment, you get a message back. You can give a message back. 8 words or less, right?
It doesn't really specify on this.
Okay. I think I can still kind of accomplish that. She says, "I need some time. Leave me."
I'll send another one. You'll be okay down there.
I'll be fine.
All right.
And with that,
stuff.
Nobieri appears from the crowd of tieflings that are. It's not that there's that many, but emerges from his house and looks out at the 4 of you and approaches you, Hope, slowly with his staff, and he looks and he says, "Hope, tell me, what happened?"
We met with Malhaya.
Beautiful. And what did the great fishbird say?
Many things, but I think we have a better plan of what to do.
Well, if the counsel you were given was indeed from Malhaya, then you received wise advice. Where is Emmanuel?
Can I hear this, or is this a private conversation between them?
No, you can hear this. It's not. He's not making it private. I'm just speaking quietly because I'm doing necromancer nobiary.
Stanley would offer an answer on that and just say, she's still below. She said she needs some time.
He nods and seems to understand. I will return to my studies. Should you need anything, my queen, I am at your disposal at any time.
Thank you.
And then before he leaves, he opens up his robe and he gives you a cell stone. Opens it up. You recognize it from the first time you got one. I don't know if you still have the last one, but I've been able to procure some more before we fled. Here, you can reach me with this.
Thank you.
And remember, Hope. Oh, sorry, Stanley.
We're going to be leaving soon. Emmanuel has the details. Just keep an eye out. If anybody asks where we're going, feel free to let them know we're no longer on El Handa.
He looks to you, Hope, is reacting to the news about leaving El Handar, almost as if he's looking for you to confirm it non-verbally.
Hope nods.
Very well. Remember, I know you want to protect us, but we serve you. If there is a war to be fought, then all tieflings should be there to fight by your side. We are not helpless sheep. Remember that.
I will.
And he turns around and returns to his cottage home. Well, we're about midday. We're in the harbor. There are houses all around. The sun is high in the sky. What would you like to do?
Next up is the cottage, right?
Yeah, I think next we should see to getting Nash and his family secured.
Hope we'll start heading to the bike.
Okay, so the party heads to the bike. Are we assuming previous arrangements with Nash tied to the back and Varel on the front?
Sure.
All right,
Sounds
so you
good.
guys clamber on in on top into the noble speeder, and Hope you gun it just within seconds. You're already more comfortable doing it. The accelerator it doesn't take long to hit top speed, and within seconds you're through the forest, down the path. I assume you're taking. Do you want to take a off path through the trees route? This vehicle does maneuver well between trees in spite of it being dangerous.
No, on the path is fine.
All right, so you kind of reminding me of Phantom Menace now. And you, within a very close amount of time. Hang on, let me figure this out. Oh, it's ukulele time. Sorry, everyone. Uninstall that. All right.
I was hoping you were going to play some. Hold on, guys. It's ukulele time.
No, all right. So if I'm just checking out the map here where you guys are at, you'd be at the harbor. And it's a pretty short jump. So maybe within 15 minutes, you can make it to the cottage. So my question for you, Hope, or for the party is, do you want to just roll up to Villa Ornath, or do you want to take a roundabout way in some... Just because you guys are being cautious.
I think direct. I think we generally agree we're on the clock, and the faster we act, the better.
I agree.
Okay. All right, so you pull into the house, and Hope sets it down, and you're there. And as soon as you make it into the yard, the door swings open, and Angelashi comes out and runs up to Nash and gives him a big hug and a big kiss.
Oh.
Of course, you have to lower yourself, so she pulls you down by the rope first and gives you a big hug.
All right.
She throws her arms around you and she says, "I missed you, Nash.
I missed
I
you
don't
too.
know what it was. I felt maybe you were in danger."
Well, you never know when I go out there. We could have been. There's a lot of water today. It's a long story. I'll tell you later, but how are the kids?
They're good. They're great. They're better than great. They're wonderful. 4 of them. 4 of them, Nash.
Yeah. Did they
Thought
do
I'd never have them. Anyways,
They
it's
do
a
anything
wonderful
weird?
day. Glad that you're back. Are you staying?
Are they? I mean, no.
Can I do a insight check on Angelashi? See
Sure.
Oh, that's a good
if
idea.
this feels genuine at all. It's 14.
Remember, this is me role playing. Everything feels disingenuous. Even to me. I don't trust myself half the time when I'm listening to myself.
What was it?
Was it
14?
14?
Was it 14? You don't remain convinced that you're sure she's not dying, Talis, but on the balance of probabilities, she doesn't. You don't suspect her.
She's not acting out of character.
No. She loves Nash. Yeah. But she
Yeah,
just
why
seems
wouldn't
in
you?
the particular mood where she's being very expressive of it. Probably
I
because
love-
you guys were gone for like 2 days.
I love that Stanley would actually be not unconvinced that anyone could love Nash. That's actually what's
He's
going
got
on here.
Stanley has a ton of PTSD from his experience. Like, John's doing a really good job of
I love that. That's great. It's
I almost
consistent.
worry it's a little too real for John some days. It's like, I did have an elf in my head a while ago. This is too real, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to want to see those kids, so I don't know if that's a thing you want to cover or if I should just not do that. Or
Well, I mean, you're back at the place.
Mhm.
I'm not going to spring anything on you at the moment. So whatever you guys want to do, tell me and we'll do that.
I just want to check on the kids. So see them.
Okay,
Wrestle
perfect. So
around
Nash,
with
disembarks, takes off the rope, and moves into the house to check on his kids and
Yeah.
be a husband.
Yeah, it's nothing you have to role play unless you have a reason for me to.
Yeah, I think Stanley would just confer with Hope and Varel and just sort of lay out what we think the plan needs to be, which is
Mhm.
in order for us to get them out, we need Nash to go learn the teleportation sigil here. I don't know if it's best to try and bring everybody with us, if we should leave somebody here to keep an eye on things. What do you all think?
We should abandon the villa. We should all go to the portal. Prepare it, get our device made, and head out as soon as possible.
I agree. I think that's probably best. We'll all be together. No one will be on their own. Although I do think we need to meet with the leader. What was his name? Did we get his name?
The high
I
elf, right?
Floated around on the water.
Shit. I had that. Hang on, I think I have it in my notes here. One sec. High elf Amanthalodar. Amanthalodar.
High Elf is his title?
Yeah, I'll put put it in Slack so you don't have to guess. Yeah. Amantha Lodar. It's the kind of compound worded up. Amantha Lodar.
I think we still need to meet with him, see what his plans are, see if he can point us in the direction of our engineer, and see if he can secure us a way back home.
In case of prying ears, we should speak no more of this now that the plan is set.
I agree.
All right. So, what would you guys
Wait
like to
for-
do?
Let's wait for Nash to gather up everybody.
Didn't we?
Oh,
were
so-
we going to ask the nurse, our host, about something?
Oh, right. We should talk to her. Are we trying to save her? We gonna leave her behind? Probably logistically easier, but is it the right thing to do?
Well, remember, Lyriel is a Elhendari elf, so she's with them, even if she's a player on your team. And because you seem to be not wanting to tell a lot of people outside of the people you trust about what's occurred.
Yeah, that's a good point. What's our plan for Lyriel?
So far, she's been trusted with the children. She hasn't done us wrong, supplied us. If we are able to gain her services, I'm sure she would, and I'll look towards the house, help us relieve Nash of his duties.
All right. So, as we go and kind of start helping gather people, supplies, things of that nature. I don't know if we
Mhm.
need to RP the whole thing, but get everybody.
Oh no, we don't need to do that. We can, if you guys want to make preparations, like tell me how you want to prep, and we'll get that sorted.
So the plan is to gather everybody, right? All the kids, Angelashi, Lyriel, Bok, Squirts. They're they're coming too. We're
Yeah,
not gonna
Bok-
leave them in the house.
Yeah, Bok and Squirts are there. We won't role play all the. Basically, we'll just say you've talked to all of your NPC followers here, and they're on board with they trust you to make these decisions about this.
I would go retrieve my father's key, which I would assume would close the doorway to
Okay.
his study.
So I don't have an item in D&D Beyond, but make sure to put the cottage study key, Villa Ornath cottage study key, in your inventory, please. All right, so I've got Angelashi, the kids, Bok, Squirts, and I mean, Nash, you would have come down from husbandly duties by
Yeah.
this time, so
Oh,
you can
yeah.
participate in that. Everyone can participate
Yeah, we're all there together.
in the planification of what you're about to do.
Mhm.
So Angelashi, 4 kids, you got Bok and Squirts, and who else? Not Lyriel.
Not
You're not going
Lyriel.
to talk to her at all.
No, I thought we were bringing Lyriel. Did we decide
Yeah,
not
okay.
to bring her? Yeah, we're bringing her.
Okay,
Does
so
she wanna
because she's a
go?
player controlled character, I mean, we're just going to assume she's on board with it. Yeah, hope this is your call, your character.
Yeah, totally.
And do you think she? Well, I'm not going to ask that because she may have a secret life, so I don't know. But you've assured them that you're on their team and not going to tell this. You know how much information. I just want to know how much information she knows, and what her decision would be.
We tell her the whole deal. There's danger, or do we just leave it at there's danger? We need to take the kids.
I think that, and just that we really could use her help because she's been instrumental so far, and it'd be great if she could be there.
Yeah, maybe we leave it at
And
that.
are you swearing her to secrecy, or are you just not telling her the secret stuff?
We'll tell her to keep everything we tell her to herself.
Yeah, it's just Kristen gets to make the call. I want to know what the
I
parameters
see
are,
what
so
you're
she
saying.
knows what she can do with it.
Probably not all the details, but just know that it's secret. We're nervous about who we can trust at the moment,
Yeah.
and we need to get them out of there.
Cool. She's all on board. She even
Alright.
squeals a little when you mention danger.
Whoa.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now we have Bok, Squirts, Angelashi kids, Lyriel. I think that's everyone, right? Apart from the tieflings, and the tieflings want to stay. So,
What-
I guess that's everyone. What's
what hap-
next?
Oh, I was almost like, where's the other lizard folk? And I forgot he. Sorry, everybody. I forgot he's not with us anymore.
Oh,
He is
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah.
His feet.
For a hot
true.
second, I spaced him.
All right. What else would you like to do with your plan ahead? Like you mentioned, getting to the teleportation circle. I think that's.
Yeah, so I think next step would be to go and see if we could meet with the High Elf, and see.
I meant the Lodar.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
and
Okay.
yeah, we can ask about a teleportation signal from there.
Okay. So I assume that means you're going to travel via the Rainbow Road back to the Cadulet, or do you have some other plan to contact somebody? You're going to. Okay, Rainbow Road it
Yeah,
is.
I think.
All right, so
Rainbow
if you refer to the Roll20 map, then you can take the Noble Speeder, or you can set out on foot. What do you want to do with the Noble Speeder?
Road.
Do you want to leave it at the villa, or do you want to take it with you to the Rainbow Road?
I think
But you can't. You might not be able to take it on the road you don't know on the Rainbow Road, so you might have to say goodbye to it.
I think
Yeah, and
we-
there's so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we leave it at the villa.
Okay.
Come back.
All right. It's not that long of a walk. I'm not going to do the whole map rolling dice thing. This is a relatively safe part of the wilds here. So, but it did say a hex was what, 1 mile? 15 minutes, right? So you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, some maybe a 4 or 5 hour walk. It'll take you to dusk, like early evening, maybe 5, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Earth time. All right, perfect. So you gather up all the belongings you're going to bring with you. Everyone's packed up. Angelashi has made for herself a nice canvas holding pack that holds 2 kids. So Nash, you got to take 2 kids, and she's going to take 2 kids.
Okay. And is this? Do
All
I
right.
have a similar sack or just carrying them?
Yeah, she's made 2 of them. One for you have matching like packs, and you have like a child in the front and a child in the back.
Okay.
But the sacks are also adaptable if they're not in child form. It turns into like a tool thing. So like the fork and hammer or whatever shape they sort of take can just be like in a tool bag, but it's still on your chest, not on your lap where it gets bounced around a lot. Still safe.
Okay.
So fork and fork and pipe take their namesake forms,
Yeah.
whereas Nash Jr. and Boot are in baby forms. So
Okay.
which one do you want?
I'm gonna take Nash Jr. and Boot.
All right, so you've got Nash Jr. and Boot on you, okay? You got the 2 baby style
Right.
babies. Okay. Just making a note of all this in case it's relevant at some point.
The baby style babies.
Are we sticking to what we said on the bonus show that Nash Jr.'s a girl?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I forgot about that. So Nash Jr. is female, but we're still calling her Nash Jr.
Yes.
Yeah. Because we're progressive like that.
All
Or
right, so
Nash
you've got
names
your
children.
daughter. You've got your daughter Nash Jr. and Boot,
Yep.
and it carried. Okay, perfect. And Josh Hayes are the 2. All right. Anything else we got to consider before we set out? I don't think so. All right. So you walk the 4 hours, and then as you make your way through the forest, you get closer and closer to what appears to be like a glass wall that's part of this giant dome that looks out into space overhead. So then you begin to see like these risers in between not risers, but structure basically between glass panes, and sort of in the wall there is that chamber, that hallway and doorway that you went in with the Rainbow Road inside. So you walk forward, you look around, and it's quiet. There's no one there, and the forest turns into science fiction cold metal and walls, and then you move in it, and then you move into this chamber, and the chamber is plain, very sterile looking, very spaceship looking, and there is the Rainbow Road, this sort of rainbow, this opening in the side with rainbow sort of energy zooming past, and you can step on it and go to your location. Which location would you like to go to? There is a handy little map on the right side. I don't have an actual map, but there's a map on the right side.
When we were dealing with the High Elf, I know he said that he wanted to talk to us again at some point. Did he ever specify how or
The impression you got with both the therapists and the High Elf was just for you to come at things on your own, at your own time. So they didn't bug you at all. The impression was when you were ready, you could talk to them. But there's no commitment. You might never be ready. They were like,
Yeah, but did they give us an idea of where to go when we were ready?
Right.
They did not. They did not.
Or contact them. None of that.
Well, Lyriel's your contact. You could ask Lyriel.
Oh, good idea. We have Lyriel here. That's right. All right. Lyriel, do you have any idea where we might go to speak to the High Elf?
I'll tell you, Kedgelet.
Oh, yes, the Kedgelet. Follow me. And she'll
Perfect.
walk into the Rainbow Bridge.
Excellent. So you follow Lyriel into the Rainbow Road, and you move in, and she walks in, and she just sort of floats up. Sorry, I wasn't trying to correct you, Chris, and I'm sorry. It can be a rainbow anything.
I totally forgot. No, I was just
The
taking my head of
Rainbow
myself.
Road.
It has
sorry.
rainbow in front of it. Rainbow trout is cool.
Rainbow Trout. All right, so you move in, and you go. Lyriel sort of goes off, and the rest of the party, I assume, follows.
Yeah.
So everyone sort of steps in and goes, woo, 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 and then you're traversing. I think about rainbows, and then you get off, and immediately you're in this large cylindrical structure. And as you look up, it goes up. It feels like almost endlessly. It must be miles. And there's this long tube, and there are balconies, and everything's made of glass, and lots of reflective surfaces, lots of transparent glass showing space, and you see the deserty earth in the background, and it just moves up. And as you step off, there are elves everywhere. There are probably about 400 elves milling about. There's like an information center right in the middle, and there are all these elves just hanging about, going about their business. It's like New York City in here, but they're all wearing these black suits and have long blonde hair or short, various elf blonde hairs for the most part. A lot of these are blondie elves, and they move around and just carry about their business. And an elf will walk by and look at you and keep walking and just ignore you, like you're not even there.
Talking hundreds, thousands, nothing.
Overall, on the floor you're on, there's maybe several hundred, and it's like a marble floor with an information desk, and there's some elves behind there at keypads, typing, and there's people moving about everywhere. There are elevators, there's stairs, and there are balconies. On every balcony, there are hundreds of elves. This place is full of elves.
Okay.
They're everywhere.
Right.
Ah!
Lousy with
There's
elves.
tons of elves everywhere.
All right.
Any idea where to go from here, Lyriel?
Yes, everyone here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she finishes counting. This way, please.
Okay, and just to the top of the Kedgelet was the High Elf's chamber.
To the top we go.
All right, so Lyriel leads you to the elevator bay, and she pushes on a button, and you guys
No.
stand there.
No. There has
Okay.
to be another way there.
Is there a problem?
We had a little trouble in the last elevator. Vorel, don't you think it is time that we conquer one's concerns over the elevator and prove that these can be safe?
You saying I bring this up out of fear?
No,
I will mess this elevator. I
Okay.
merely desired a way that didn't involve so much fighting or calamity.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Is perhaps this one will have zero calamity.
We get off at it, and
There are stairs available. You look around with that look, and you just see stairs right in your face.
But
How
I
many-
wouldn't suggest it.
how
That
many
would take at
floors
least
up?
a day.
Oh. Vorel, the elevator should be fine.
I would best
We've
those stairs,
conquered-
though.
We've conquered so many. And
Everyone
we
stay
w-
close.
There you go.
He's in battle mode. Elevators. Okay. So are you going on the elevator, Varel?
Yes.
Okay. And you hear a ding, and Lyriel walks into the elevator and motions for everyone that's safe. And is the entire party trepidatious? Probably not Nash, but
No, I don't care.
just to describe it, everyone's fine except Varel, who's last to get in, and I assume does a security check before getting
Absolutely.
it.
And I take place right in front of the door.
I mean, Stanley, we've all been on the same elevator. Stanley's definitely looking for, okay, is there a way out if something does go wrong? There's a
Okay.
level of caution, but he still thinks they're fairly safe.
All right. Do you want to make two? So let's make two separate investigation rolls. One for Vorel, one for Stanley, please.
5.
10.
Varel, this place is a death box as far as you can tell, and Stanley, to you, this looks like a pretty normal elevator. You've seen a couple now over the years, just in ruins and in places you've been. it looks about as precarious as any other elevator. If should you be attacked by something on the way, which has happened a lot, but you feel a sense of safeness. I know that you're worried about dying Talis, but generally speaking, it looks like an elevator that's safe to you.
Now, two of you seem very nervous, so maybe this will help. And Lyriel will clap her hands together, and she'll use prestidigitation to have a little lilting tune played on harp just emanate out of the elevator to kind of help everyone ease into it.
Thank you, Lyriel. I'm soothed.
Varel's having a hard time, so maybe a performance roll versus insight. Unless Varel, you want to use a different skill that you think fits contest wise.
No, that sounds good to me.
All right, contest.
14.
5.
The music is delightful, and you're a bit ashamed probably inside. I don't know if you'll say anything, but it's actually working.
This is the first elevator with music. I like the difference it brings.
All right. So Varel walks in. I assume he's still standing, arms at the side, right in the front.
Oh yeah, right in the door where it would open.
Yeah. Perfect. And the doors, the lovely stainless steel doors close. But the rest of the elevator is actually quite clear in the back, so you can kind of see down the cadulet. And then immediately, I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw, unless you're an elf.
Well, I am definitely not that.
What if you're a half elf?
Yeah, you don't have to make it.
Okay.
If you have Sylvan or elf heritage, you do not have to make it.
What was the Constitution? Is that you said?
It's Constitution saving throw, please.
17.
9.
Oh, sorry. 17 for Nash.
9.
18.
17 for Nash, 18 for Hope. Okay, I'm just rolling dice.
That was
here.
for Varel.
Oh, sorry, for 18 for Varel. What did Hope get? Sorry? 9. Right?
9.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I think I got everyone. So this elevator is a science fiction elevator. It immediately goes and just goes, and it starts just like. Unfortunately, it causes Hope for you to vomit. All 4 kids start vomiting as well.
Oh no!
Angela Ashley's okay. Nash is okay. Stanley and Varel are okay, but Angela Ashley, Hope, and the kids are puking. Bok is also puking with squirts as well. And they're going, bah! There's just a whole bunch of puking going on. And then within seconds, beep, bing, and the elevator opens up with half the people in it, just like, and they start throwing up all over the floor. And there's like a receptionist looking in the elevator going,
Non-elves, right?
and then she giggles. Do come in.
Lyriel will stay behind and prestidigitate away all the vomit as fast as she can.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah,
You just go.
Stanley will assist as people are coming out.
Oh, thank you.
The 2 elves, the half elf and the elf, bond over cleaning other mortals.
Cleanliness is
Excellent.
next to godliness, they say.
Next to elvenness, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so the whole procession moves out of the elevator. It's quite packed, actually. So I probably should have hit some people with the barf, but we'll just leave it. You move into this what would you call it? Not a foyer, but the room before the big room, the waiting room. You know, in a big corporate office, when you have like an office before the CEO, and what do they call that? Like
there's a word for this.
There's a word for this.
Area.
Reception.
Yes, that's
reception.
it. Yeah.
That's
So
it.
you're in the reception room, and there's a rather stern and slender-looking elf, a woman sitting at the desk, and she's been watching you. And you approach the desk, and she says, "The High Elf Amenthal." Now I don't remember the name.
Yep. You did this to yourself.
The High Elf Amenthalodar. We'll see you now. And then you didn't really notice, but there were these 2 doors, but they're doors made of vines. And there's like it's really starkly contrasted to the science fiction space decor. You see a fake wood desk, and like this institutional white panels and stuff, but then there's these doors that are just made of vines, and the vines sort of unravel and opens up into this large circular chamber. And I guess you all just move right in, right? Unless you want to say anything to the receptionist.
I just move
Nope.
in.
Yeah.
Okay,
just move
so
in.
the whole procession moves in. Do your NPCs come in, or do they wait in the waiting room? If you're going to speak to the high elf, you may be speaking on sensitive matters. I don't know if you want everyone in there.
That's a fair
Like Bok
point.
Bok, the serious statesman.
We'll wait out here. You all, good luck.
Okay,
the
I'm
statesman.
picturing Lyriel holding on to squirts and Bok Bok like, we'll wait out here.
Bok Bok's just like going towards it.
What blowy in there? Is what he says, and Lyriel grabs him.
All right,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
It'll be just the four of us that go in.
All right, so the four of you move in, and the vines grow behind you. And you see floating in the middle of the room. So this room, first of all, let me describe the room. It's like a glowing white, like there's light coming off the floor, and there are all these like panels where the white is, and then it's black. Sorry. And this room is like at the top of this spire, basically, and it's a big dome of nothing. It's just space. And what you see up there is you see Earth, but then you see the sun. And looking at it is very bright, and the sun's just blasting into this room. But you seem aware intuitively that the glass covering the roof is protecting you from the full power of looking at the sun. So even though it's like doesn't cause you any retinal damage. Floating in the center, fully naked, is the high elf. And he's just floating there. His legs, well, he doesn't have use of his legs. His legs are hanging out, and he has his arms outstretched, and he has his hands back, and he's just floating above. And then his voice calls out, yes, excuse me. And then he sort of twirls around. And as he twirls around, you think you're going to see his really old elf junk for a second, but then almost out of nowhere, like a cloth appears and circles around him. And then he just robes himself by like not having to put on clothes, but the clothes just sort of swirl around him and form into clothes. He didn't even button anything up, and he generally just wears this very traditional elven garb that has a big V, and you can see his chest hair. It's a big V, and then it has like these. Almost looks like a skirt, like it's not really shorts. They only go up to maybe his thigh. And then as he goes to float down before you, the wheelchair that he floats on water, sort of skims across the bottom of the floor and catches him very gracefully into the chair. And then he floats up into his chair. And he says, "Pardon me, I was photosynthesizing."
That's fine. Sorry to interrupt it.
Oh,
sorry.
He gives you a knowing look. You haven't learned everything about your nature, have you, Velir?
Clearly not. I didn't know photosynthesizing was an important thing for me to do.
Well, the Elhendari elves do not necessarily need to nourish themselves with food alone. The sun provides all the nourishment an elf needs. Should you like to try it sometime, I would find you a tutor. It can be a bit difficult at first.
I mean, that would be fine, but unfortunately, we have come to tell you that we need to leave.
Oh? Very well. You are free to go, of course. We are here to help you in any way possible.
Well,
But-
in addition to that, the thing is, we are not safe here. This is not proven to be the haven that we thought and perhaps hoped it would be. I am being pursued by an archfey known as Talis. Are you familiar with any of that?
He freezes. He has returned.
He is here.
I knew this day would come. Tell me, how do you know of this Talis?
Well, back on Earth, my friends found themselves lulled in a hypnotic state to this underground location, and I followed them. Whatever it was that was taking hold of them did not seem to take hold of me. And down there, I found an old decaying elf and some form of creature that she seemed to be feeding people to. And in an attempt to save my friends, I killed her, I killed the creature, and shortly after her defeat, a body emerged from a lake of oil down there and claimed to be an archfey, claimed to say that I didn't know my heritage or who I was. And before I had any time to defend myself, implanted himself in my mind. I was able to get rid of him for a while after that. The principal, who you saw, was actually able to remove Talis from me. But when he appeared on this station and attacked me, he told me Talis was already searching for me. That's why I was hesitant to receive whatever vision it was you intended to impart. But now he has made himself known. In the wilds, whatever you call it out there, we encountered him and a bunch of other elves who seemed to be acting on his accord. Unfortunately, we had to kill them in defense of ourselves, but he escaped. Now he could be anywhere or anybody, and we feel that our presence on this station only endangers more elves.
Did you get the name of these elves? Did you see their dress?
I believe we were told that they were dressed as the Cadulet Council of Mages.
An over-generous and unofficial title, but yes, the mages of the council have gone missing, but you've killed them all.
Yeah, they were disguised as deer and then tried to abduct Hope here and lure me into a trap of some kind.
Was there anything unusual about the way they were acting?
They all acted hungry. They all seemed to be craving food.
He turns around and puts his arms behind his back as he stands from his wheelchair. But he doesn't, he walks, but what happens is quite strange. Vines rise up from the ground. They don't damage anything. Vines rise up and hold his legs in place. So he's not really walking. The vines are holding him up, but he's moving as though he's walking. But these vines and trees that rise up to meet his legs and hold him up, simulating walk. He seems agitated, very upset. He turns to space, to the sun in particular, and then looks out at it as he says, I'm sorry that your visit here was fraught with danger from this. I assure you the elves of Elhandar have nothing to do with this. In fact, we have everything to do with why you found him where you found him. Do you know the story of Talis? Has he told you?
He was not particularly forthcoming with information when we were together.
After the elves decided to plot in secret against the humans of Earth, for they had succumbed to the influence of demons, we made efforts to create a rebellious army amongst the humans. However, they were impulsive, and we had made a mistake in doing so, and we severed our ties with them. Unfortunately, those activists, as they called themselves, would not give up, and they found their own way to the Feywild. And there they found someone interested in helping them. Talis, the Archfey of Carnage. Now, you are new to Elhandar, young elf, so you know not the ways of our kind yet. But the elves do not, how shall I say, do not indulge gods. We are the custodians of life. We are the keepers of the Archfey. And the Archfey are the true deities of creation. Now, I know you don't feel this way right now, but it is some kind of blessing to know a god so intimately. Wouldn't you say?
I don't know if I would go that far. He seemed to cause nothing but pain and hurt for me.
Yes. He is in pain and hurt as well. He is an Archfey, and he is missing from the royal court in the Feywild. We had not the means at the time to return him, but he fought alongside these activists. And not only did he strike against the demons and their co-conspirators, he struck out against Elhandar. Together with the humans of Earth, we put him away till he could be dealt with. And unfortunately, you've opened his prison much too soon. By accident or otherwise, it matters not. We must deal with this problem now. He must be returned home to his family to face justice for the crimes he has committed. He has slain several thousand of the Elhandari elves. But he is an Archfey, and we cannot bring harm to the gods. Doing so would put creation out of balance. We will need to return him. You have a great task before you, Stanley.
How would we even begin to do that? I mean, we fought him and it didn't go well.
We will summon him, and we will speak with him, and we will make him see that he must return to the Feywild.
He doesn't strike me as the see reason and going to work with you type.
Tell me, you have observed the state of rot that an elf goes through when it dies on the planet's surface, yes?
Yes.
What do you suppose that does to an Archfey?
You're saying he has been decaying into madness the same way others would.
Yes. And if he is back, and if he is in the soil with the Feywild, he will hear its call. There is no scenario where Talis will leave this place. It calls to him as it calls to you, as it calls to me. We must speak with Talis. We must convince him to return home and end his involvement in this. He has much better things to be doing. There's nothing for him to do here. He is not needed. His nature is one of balance. He slays things. He delights in killing scores. Every army that has fallen because Talis put his lips to the wind and went, whew. He must be returned so that balance can be restored. He has been away too long. I seek your aid in this, Stanley, for he has likely developed a fascination with you by the sounds of it.
I mean, that was the reason we were intending to leave. I assumed he would follow, but now you're saying he will not.
He may. He does not belong here. He belongs home. I know that you don't know what that means. I can show you if you wish. but it will take some time, and we have much to do here. I feel from you a lack of trust of anyone. Born from years on the desert, no doubt. But no one is friend to elf. You are home, Stanley. We'll invite him here now and settle this. This is my wish. What say you?
Look to my friends. Are you all up for round 2?
Hope will give a silent, slow nod.
Nash will glance at his family. Are they with us in here or not?
No,
Or
they're
outside?
in the reception chamber.
All right. Well, he'll be thinking of them, but then nod. He's hesitant, but he's in.
Fight him.
There will be no violence in here.
And we're to speak with him.
We are to tell him to return home. Is Varel making those faces of confusion?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're reacting, or is this Kyle going like, what are we playing D&D anymore? What's going on?
No, this would be Burrell sitting in stunned silence of an elf being like, let's invite him in, and then I'll get possessed and I'll shoot tentacle plants everywhere, and like I don't like this idea at all. But it's not really my place to stand against it, so I will instead gesture to the air.
All right. You seem to know more about it than we do. If you think this is the best course of action, so be it. But make no mistake, the people that are in this room, the people that are outside of this room, I care about them a great deal. And if this does not go well, I will not hesitate to take them out of here as quickly as possible and leave everyone on this ship to their fate that you have invited.
I agree that family is important. We can arrange for security measures to be taken. We have secure chambers that he should not be able to gain access to, even for an archfey. Do you wish me to do that? Or would you prefer they stay in reception?
Let's keep them close for now.
Very well. Do you have any preparations to make? Like any spells or anything like that you want to cast ahead of time? I don't know. Just to give you a heads up, this is likely to be a social combat. So I know you have social combat tools. It would be a good time to consider it and take all the time that you need. Don't let me rush you, and don't let the close to end of show time disturb your strategizing either. In fact, you can all test your strategy.
My brass knuckles of calming and the knee breaker of
Punch the calm
peace.
right into him. You are open to ideas. No, I'm as prepared as I'm gonna be.
Very well. And the high elf then sits. Before he sits, he walks over with his rooty legs to. There's like a little bit of a garden off to the side that you didn't really notice. Just a few plants, and he picks off a few berries, and he eats a couple. And he sort of mushes them around his mouth, and he holds his hand out to the party with 4 berries in them and offers them to you. These will help strengthen your resolve.
All right. Doing a lot on faith today, but we'll take them.
Beats one
guys-
as well.
I can't tell if it's the elves or me you can't trust, and probably both. But
Both. It's both.
It's
A lot of
tough.
people
I
offering
really
us weird
broke your
food
guy. I
today.
really broke you guys with Dylan Noria, didn't I? Like, I really feel like there was a moment where like hope. I remember Kristen being like, "Oh, God, I'm gonna kill it." God." Scott Nash, would you like a berry?
I'll,
All right, I'm gonna need 10 minutes.
Yeah, the guy who puts literally anything in his mouth is offered a berry and is like, seems suspect to me.
Well, it's offered. If it's not offered, he's all good. If someone gives it to him, he's suspicious.
yeah,
right?
there's something about that, the act of that I don't trust versus, myself knowing my risks and I make the choice. It's
Lick
the
a
same.
frog, hemethig, all in.
It's the same
Eat,
as the.
eat a
It's,
berry. No.
it's the same as the bonbons. I don't know where these came from. Given the circumstances, though, I don't really see a choice, and I'll do it.
Okay.
I did have to
And,
think about it, though.
Varel, Hope.
Yep, Hope's gonna munch one.
All right, and Varel.
Well, seeing the party do it, I'll join in for a second time today.
Perfect. And then, this guy's name, Bo. Seriously, I wanted to come up with a fancy high elf name, man. I was like, it's gotta have lots of syllables. High elf Amanthalodar then takes the last one and goes, and he smiles a bit, just for a moment. Then he goes back to Sirius. Are you ready?
Yes.
And he turns, so he goes back to his chair, he sits, and then he floats up a little bit to sort of beam out what he's about to yell, like, into space. And he goes, Talis, you have long been missed in the Feywild, and you have profaned against your children. The elves of Elhandar call you to account for the mistakes and the deaths you have caused us that were not in line with creation. Answer your charges. And then with a flash, ethereal light fills the room, strands, and it assembles immediately with a puff of smoke. Large alien-looking elf with eyes too close together and too large stands in ghost form in the room opposite of High Elf Amanthalodar.
No, no.
Talis looks around and goes, this is interesting. Finally grew a pair, eh, High Elf? What do you want? Amanthalodar looks at him and says, you have been called here to return home. The royal court is in need of you. Creation is out of balance. You have come here and had your little sojourn among the mortals. It is time for you to return. I'm not quite done here, he says. And Talis begins pacing around the room looking. And what is he doing here? Talis sort of looks at you as he paces in a circle around the large room. Amanthalar says, he will speak of his own accord, and you would do well to listen, Archfey. Well, out with it.
We're calling you to account, Talis. You've been there for much of our journey. Uninvited, unwelcomed. But you haven't been without wisdom or merit, as you spoke. You, like me, have seen what happens to our people on that planet. And the High Elf tells me it's what's happening to you now. You're here. A place much like what they describe as home. You are very close to returning. Isn't that where you would rather be than playing these games, these schemes?
All right. Can you please make a persuasion roll, please? Or you can choose religion.
Let's
If
do
you wish.
persuasion.
Yeah. And, if there's any additional benefit that you're doing with that, then please, time is now.
Nope.
Inspiration, that kind of deal. Yeah.
I don't think I can inspire myself, so we're gonna just persuade. It's an important roll, so we're gonna roll it physically, because I don't trust D&D Beyond. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and use my DM inspiration to roll with advantage, just in case. Best roll out of the two is a 25.
All right. Better roll than his. He's not wrong. He sort of mutters it to himself. Yes, this place stinks of mortals and their stupid problems. But I like this place. The people here die good. Why should I not leave until I've killed every last one?
And then what? An eternity of boredom? The inability to even watch your handiwork play out across this universe? You're thinking small, Don Talis. I thought better of you.
Ooh. Is there an insult roll? Like, not an insult roll, but like a shaming roll? I guess it's persuasion, so continue.
Do the roll or continue speaking?
Yeah, persuasion roll. Unless you want to have more dialogue, then you can keep
No,
going, of course.
we'll start with that.
I just reacted to what you said. I felt that in my soul. I was like, whoa.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. You see, Stanley, I have all the time in the world. You've only got a little blip. Tell me, why would I listen to an insignificant gnat on the subject of great creation that you know so little about?
Because I'm right. Because more than that, you bounced around inside my head whispering to this insignificant gnat your truths, the words you wanted heard and understood and proclaimed and shown to others. If I am so small, Diane Talis, why did you spend so much time hitching your wagon to me? Why did you then pursue me the very moment that you were free? You know that I might just be a tiny blip now, but you know potential. You see it. You've chased it.
Make your roll with advantage. That was a particularly good speech. Oh, I gotta make mine.
It's going to be a 24 for the best roll.
Close, but successful. I have profaned too much against the royal court. They will ostracize me. I will spend millennia cast out. Why would I return to that?
Because it's where you belong. It's your home. It's where you have the most potential. How long did you sit beneath the inky blackness, in the oil, waiting for your moment? You've waited before. As you yourself just said, it's but a blip. Besides, there's one thing that you should have learned from me, is that when you do the right thing, forgiveness comes quick. And I am not beyond thinking you, even you, could achieve that.
Roll the dice.
Oh, it's bad. It is going to be a 15.
Beat my roll. Lucky.
With a 2! With a 2!
Yeah, I got 11. Okay, so he stops for a second, and a ghostly tear. Nash, it's ghost water. A ghostly tear appears on the side of his eye
I go, ah!
and streams down the side of his face. And you see that he's stuck in deep thought, deep godly thought. You can feel the thinking that's going on inside of his ghost brain. And in this moment, we're going to slow down time. I'm going to ask Varel, Stanley, and Nash to take off their headphones, please, just for a few moments. Standing behind him, the hooded figure of the voice appears. He utters a quick phrase to you. You will kill him and take his power. Do you want this?
No.
He's nothing. He wastes his power. We need this power. Take it.
No.
I will leave you to decide what you wish to do, but I will give you his key nonetheless. If you wish to... Sorry, one sec. Where did I put it? Speak the following words so that he hears it. Care, laundry, mehi jajul, my haistita. Every archfey has a phrase that will undo it. Speak those words, Hope, and his essence will be yours. And then when you look again, the voice is gone. Everyone can put headphones back on.
We're back.
Talis is stuck in thought with the tear in his eye. And you can feel him relenting. You can feel your victory, Stanley. And he turns to you and he begins approaching you closely. Stanley, you are my anchor back to normalcy. I find I cannot go on without you. Come with me to see my father. Tell him what you know of me. Come with me to the Feywild and rule in the royal court alongside me as my chosen. If you do this, I can return home.
I will help you. If you mean it, if this is truly your desire, I will aid you. And that is a promise, but it is a promise that I have also made to these people here. When would we need to return? Can I see to my business here first?
Yes. Do what you need to, for you will not be coming back.
And Stanley will look to the High Elf. What are we to do with Don Talis in the meantime? He clearly cannot go back to Earth. You do not want him here, you've already said.
Mistrust is your nature, from the world that you are from. You carry it with you in all that you do. I see it plainly now after speaking with you. It would have helped to see our therapists, but no matter. The Archfey are true to what they say, even when they are deceitful. They are their nature. I see Talis has a connection with you that he values. Talis will not harm or disrupt Elhandar so long as you go with him. I do not need his affirmation to know this. This is the way of elves and the Fey Court. There will be no reassurances. The fact that he says it's so makes it so.
Then is he to remain here?
He will remain with me. How much time, and then Diantel speaks up, how much time do you need?
I don't know. We're on a mission to save the planet, stop the principal.
A voice appears in your head privately, just to you, Stanley. It's Amantha Lodar's voice, and he says, the longer you tarry, the higher the risk he changes his mind.
Don Talis, you yourself know that my soul is already spoken for. I need to resolve this before I can commit to anything further.
Sorry, maybe I misunderstood. So are you asking, how much time are you asking for? Or you're not committing? You're not doing
committing. I'm basically saying...
You don't have to go with him. You can tell him no and try and convince him he should go on his own without you. That's an option, just in case you weren't thinking of it. And we can continue with the social combat. It's not over. Or you can choose to go with him and social combat's over and your fate is sealed for the time being. Consider this the epic final thrust of a big sword fight. He's asking you to come with him. It seems like a loss, but also a victory. But maybe you can go for the full victory.
You know there's much that I have to do. You know that the Weir has a claim upon my soul. You know I have my own mandate to see that my friends achieve their goals. If you return, I will do everything in my power to finish quickly and come and speak on my behalf. You have my word.
You are too kind-hearted for your own good. Make your roll. We are doing persuasion contest.
A 29.
Very well. I shall return to the Feywild now, but I will return to my stead, to my court. I will not go to the royal court. And I will refuse to leave until Stanley comes. And if he does not, if he dies before he gets to me, I will come back here and I will rend the life of every elf on this space station. And then I will take their souls and bury them in the blackest pit that I can find. And then I will have the hordes of hell trample over it and defecate and desecrate all who failed to meet this accord. Do we have one, Stanley?
We do. That said, my victory is far more assured with your aid. It's no secret the principal fears you. That's why he wanted us separated when he arrived. You serve a unique point to make our goals easier. Will you help us?
Yes. And that's where we leave it. Bam, 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 bam. Show's over. Woo!
Wow.
Perfect.
Good Lord.
All right. Sorry, I had to cut the tension there. I was getting all
Scared the hell out of me there for a second.
Sorry. Well, maybe that's too aggressive for the podcast. I was like all pent up. It just had to get out, and I'm like, let's end the show. It's a good episode, everyone.
That's
he
great.
said yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your victory, Stanley.
Great job.
Yeah.
Well done, Stanley. Your vocal talents precede you, as we knew was true. Well done. That was amazing. And we'll be back again. Hold on. Let me check my calendar thing, because there's a thing coming up, and I don't want to screw this up. I already kind of messed it up at Film Sack. Hold on. So I am gonna be gone on the
15th.
So we're not here next
And
week.
We're not here next week. I don't think I'm gonna. There's some talk about us doing something, and that might still come up. But I don't think I think probably it's looking likely for a week off. We can announce that on Twitter, maybe.
Yeah.
What we're
If
gonna
something
do.
happens, we'll make sure to let everybody know if something still airs. But and if it does, it'd be like some kind of one-off, or who knows, some kind of Nash is trapped in a void of toilets or some weird thing like they're going to do to me while I'm
Oh,
gone.
I want to play that right now. I want
Yeah.
to see the world of toilets. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Like, just see toilets everywhere. You're swimming through it. Like,
Time-boxed
I gotta find the way
bullshit.
out. Is this toilet the way out? And you go in and come out another. Okay, sorry.
No kidding. By the way, John, you have very lucky dice today. That was awesome. Holy crap.
I have a plus
Yeah.
13 to persuasion.
Oh.
It was
Yeah.
not
Holy
the best
shit.
rolls in the whole wide world.
Three of those rolls, you were one over on my result.
I rolled a 2
Including
for
the low
one
one.
of those rolls. Yeah, I rolled a 2, but a 2 is a 15. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Looks like you've got what it takes to talk a god down from.
Damn
genocide.
straight. It's an impressive feat. But yeah,
For now.
So it's looking like next week nothing, but if something comes up, we'll let you know via Twitter and that sort of thing. We're back the following Sunday. I'll be home by then, and all will be well. So don't stress about it too much. We're going to miss having you next week, but stuff comes up. We got things to do. Don't forget that you can go support us at therewillbedungeons.com. We highly recommend that, because you get all kinds of rewards, including bonus shows, which a couple of weeks ago, all our supporters got that. If you don't support us there, you get it late, and you don't want things that are late. Late is lame. So go sign up. You can get in for very little, and you get a whole lot for your little. So check it out. That's therewillbedungeons.com. And everything else is over there as well. Our Twitter account, old shows, ways to contact us, lots of information. Therewillbedungeons.com. That's going to do it for us. For me, for Bo, for John, for Kristen, for Kyle, for Baby Chunks. We'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Yeah.
I need a towel, you guys. Holy crap! I'm
Nice
sweating,
job, man.
and-
That was an impressive DMing episode.